So you're not going to fall too far behind with 20 minutes with me here,
I hope not. Yep.
right? Well, we're here with Automation Nation Inside Barnum podcast. This is episode 12, I think, now. And today I got Scott Seguin from our customer service inside sales, one of our group leaders.
Yep.
And we kind of picked you out of the group since you have been around the block with Barnum for quite a while. And you also hold a little bit of notoriety with your last name, too.
Yeah, it's become a little bit of a family company. Um, yeah, we've got uh, my brother obviously has been here over 34 years. My youngest brother's been here over 20 something years. I'm the newbie at 12 years. And then we both have got kids that are also working here. So again, the culture of Barnum, um, the family or style is real. And when you work at a place that you love to go to work, it's easy to recommend it to family and friends as a place to come and make a career.
Mm-hmm.
And Barnum does a great job of that, of hiring from within and giving people who show an aptitude and a desire to do more, give them an opportunity to see where they can take themselves. And it's encouraging.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, I don't know how many times we've talked about this already on the podcast with the culture and things like that, but like, you don't have that mentality of, oh, I don't want to go work for dad's company. I don't want to do what he wants to do because it just seems like everybody who works here, again, is always just so happy and talking so good about it. The kids are kind of excited they have it in if they want
Yeah.
it. So,
Well, I mean, to go back, before I started working here, I did 21 years at UPS.
oh, wow.
And so I was a Teamster for, 21 years. And I can tell you, it's a complete 180 from what we're doing now. Before, when I was working, it was a culture of fighting between management and employees. And just because of the union and union workers. And so it was such a difference going from that and coming here uh, to an environment where you show up, you work, and you weren't getting critiqued or micromanaged like you would in UPS's environment.
Sure.
And so that was a refreshing thing to go to. Um, yeah. So
It's we've said I don't know how many times we can pound that one on the ground, but it really does seem like a rarity if someone is not enjoying it here.
mhm.
Like it's just really cool. Every single person that sits across from me from this has the same mentality,
Yeah.
and it's just
And,
great to hear.
and I'm grateful. I'm a group leader now, going on like 2 years, I believe, as a group leader. Um, and I've got just a great group of guys that the majority of them are senior
hmm
CS people that have been, over 10 years. Like Richardson's over 30, Matt's over 20. So just the guys that I work with, there isn't a ton of managing going on as a group leader. I'm more there just, as a helping hand when
hmm
needed. Um, but yeah, no, we've got a nice group of people that come in and want to work and do well.
So you've been at Barnum for about 12 years. Have you been in customer service the entire time?
No, so I started off, I was hired originally for customer service. Um, Worked in customer service for about 6 months. And just my, I guess, inquisitive nature, we had an opening in tech support and they needed a body over in tech support at the time.
hmm
And so it was offered to me to go to tech. And, I liked the opportunity to learn and figure out how things go. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go to tech. And I was in tech then for about 6 or 7 months, learning that side of it. When I was then approached again by another person in CS, Steve Hockendoner, he said, I need you to come back to CS. Like I need an experienced person that can come in and hit the ground running.
Because we're really starting to hire
Because
a lot more people at that
we were in a
time.
growth phase, and yeah, they needed somebody that could come on quickly, and he knew my attitude and he knew my work ethic, and so I went to Ed Koza and asked him, like, which way do I go? And he said, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. He's like, we'll support. And again, it's just that nature.
Mm-hmm.
They let you work hard no matter where you want to go. And so I said, okay. I went back to CS, and I've been there ever since. So the good majority of my career's always been in CS.
Sure.
But yeah, I got a bachelor's degree in marketing while I was working at UPS. So that nature of sales and customer service and all of that, I've been doing that pretty much
Yeah, it
for a
comes
very long
second
time.
nature for sure.
So I know you had asked once about do you feel if I'm more customer service or inside sales? How do you
Yeah.
identify? And I think everybody, when they first come in, start off as customer service
Mm-hmm.
because you're dealing with just doing quotes, doing orders, helping out the salesman. And I feel like as you learn and get more knowledge, you suddenly become more inside sales.
Yeah, where you
Um,
just rely a little less on the salesman feeding you everything.
yeah, and you take some accountability in managing accounts because not every salesman can touch every customer that we have. We've got a lot of big customers that our salesmen are in all the time, and then we've got a lot of small accounts
Mm-hmm.
that the salesmen don't get to see every week
Yeah.
or every other week. And I feel like we do a great job inside here to take care of those customers. We may not be out to visit their building every day, but we deal with them, we talk to them, we email back and forth. And so you create that kind of loyalty.
Yeah, and that's
And
we notice that a lot too when like we're out on the automation trail and we'll meet customers, and right away a lot of those customers are excited to be like, oh, is so and so from inside sales or customer service here? I'd love to put a face to the voice I talk to every
Mhm.
other day. And most of the time you're not there and they're kind of bummed about it. But it's like they're more used to an almost better relationship with you guys on the inside than their salesman because maybe the salesman bringing the trailer there for the first time because they
Mhm.
haven't been able to
Yeah.
put the time and effort in like you guys really have to
No.
manage that account.
Yeah. So often they do treat us as the first point of contact,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously the outside guys are there for support. They're there for going out to a location when
Building
it's
an
yeah
initial
when it's
relationship
when
and
it's needed to look at an application and verify if the products we have are going to work for that application. They're there to be able to do that, support that.
mm-hmm.
But a lot of times it's just calling us, emailing us, sending us pictures, sending us video, and then all of the different departments, we all mesh together well to satisfy the customer needs.
Mm-hmm. um so you said you're a group leader for about 2 years now, and you've been at Barnum for 12, but you have guys in your group that have been here longer than you.
Mm-hmm.
you know that says something about obviously how fast and how well you picked up on it. What really does the group leader role entail, just in general?
Well, I think it changes, because we do now have newer people in our group that, like the one kid's only been here for 6 months. And so, in that sense, you become very educational and
More of a mentorship.
right. You train, teach them everything about our system, our processes, not just learning information, but where to go to find the information,
Mm-hmm.
and that we use every day. With the senior guys, I don't have to really do anything. We sit back and let them do what they've done for the 30 plus years that they've been here.
Maybe you
They're
get involved
all
in a management meeting or something once in a while, so they don't have to sit in there.
yeah. I'm really a go-between. I try to provide them with information that they need to know about the company and changes or anything like that. But it's usually just logging vacation time for them, and if they have any needs or anything like that, then yeah, I can go to management to do something. But thankfully, I'm not caught up in a lot of that. It's
good.
just the day-to-day operations go seamlessly, which
Well,
is nice.
Since you got a group leader, there's obvious individual groups. How many groups does Barnum have right now inside? Top
I
of your head?
believe it's 6 groups, but those are even getting broken up. Um, you know, just because those areas are growing. Scott Knowles got a number of group leaders below him, and Karen's now getting group leaders below her.
Sure.
So the hierarchy is just branching out.
Hmm.
Um, I'm in group two, which is the Southeast Michigan. And so we've got ours broken up into two different groups. So we've got two group leaders managing all of Southeast Michigan
Yeah,
because it's
that
our
I was
largest
gonna say that
sector.
region is big enough that I don't
Yeah,
think one small group of people would be
you
able
know,
to
but
handle.
it's like 12 guys right now, and it's even growing, even though that territory has been
Established for a
yeah,
long time.
right. But we continue to find new opportunities and new
Hmm.
companies move to the area, and
And well, we've touched on it in every podcast as well, just the expansion of Barnum in general. So as we start getting into these other states and regions, either they have to squeeze into one of your current groups
mhm,
or a new group's got to be formed. And obviously, once it gets too big and too much stuff, not
yeah,
everyone can just take on all that extra. Because I would assume you guys already got more than enough on your plate that you don't need every new
yeah,
salesman stuff also coming in.
yeah, and that's the way it's been developed is the senior guys obviously are handling the largest accounts, um, and the youngest CS people are getting all the new accounts, or they're getting some of the smaller accounts,
Hmm.
and so then as time goes by, the bigger accounts get you know passed around to the senior people, and we then move our smaller accounts down to the other customer service personnel, and it just continues to move in that direction.
When you guys are dealing just day to day in customer service, is it mainly emails are coming to an individual person that get dished out? Is it more straightforward personal? Is it mainly phone calls, or is it just a giant mix of everything? You never know what's coming in, or is there more of a
It,
structure that it gets funneled?
it's mostly emails. Most of the emails come to a person. We do have just a customer service inbox, a general inbox that is monitored by everybody in customer service. We typically have the newer customer service personnel monitoring that,
Hmm.
and their job is to go in and pull those emails out when they go in, and figure out what group they go to and forward them either off to the people that are covering those accounts,
Hmm.
or just to um, a group leader, and then we'll pass those out as needed. Um,
So everything's got real eyes on it. We don't have no automated system, flagging people's emails and
yeah,
things like
no,
that. Whoever contacts us is for sure
yeah, phone calls used to
getting
be
someone.
yeah, phone calls used to be, the main way people would contact, and then as technology's developed, we don't deal with fax really anymore. Almost
Yeah.
all of it is now email, um, and yeah, that's just the way the business has grown.
So then with everything going through email, mainly email too, I mean, do people even really ever get paper orders or quotes anymore? Is it all it's all email digital? Like,
Yeah,
I mean, no
yeah.
salesman's delivering a quote or an order or whatnot,
No,
really.
everything is digital now. Yeah,
I would hope so.
yeah, yeah. We used to, when I first started, we used to receive orders in the mail. Like people would send us a PO in the mail, and we'd
Hmm.
open it out of the envelope and lay it out in front of you and type it up and process it and send your confirmation. Some of them were faxes. You'd have to send the confirmation back. But now, yeah, everything is digital.
But all of our orders, everything still are one on one with a person. There's
Mhm.
no online ordering or automatic stuff like that
Not
really
yet.
yet, right?
Eventually, there will be uh, the opportunity for customers to be able to digitally, just enter in an order, and
Hmm.
it will go into our system, be processed without us really ever having to handhold it the way we, currently
Sure.
do. But those are, I would imagine, those are going to be for routine orders, items that we
Yeah.
always seem to have on hand,
Hmm.
and
Easy stuff that really doesn't need double checking
yeah,
or handheld through the process. That
right.
yeah, but
So
that'll be pretty neat. I mean, I guess really like upgrade to our customer service where a lot of just the little menial things can be set aside because
It's just
it's
another opportunity to provide a service that
yeah.
a customer is asking for.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that Barnum's always done is we've looked for ways to do that added value, to do things that
Hmm.
not every company is doing. And by providing that extra service, by being innovative and creating services and that for customers that they're asking for, we've
Hmm.
established ourselves as a great company to work with.
Now, since we have our different groups, different departments, and all that too, how much bleed over is there from customer service, tech support, applications? Whereas in people in each group can slightly do each other's positions or are comfortable doing some of it. Like how many people are really good with tech knowledge that are in customer
Mhm.
service that don't even ever need tech support, or vice versa. We got people in tech support that can handle quotes and
Yeah,
things like that. Yeah, how much?
it
Yeah.
it definitely varies by each person. I'd like to consider myself fairly technical. Like, even today I had a call come in where a customer was giving me an HHB number. It's an assembly that we do, and I was able to bring up that BOM
Hmm.
and figure out which end plate that the customer had damaged and give them that part number and process that quote. And normally if you're a new CS person, you probably wouldn't have the knowledge to be able to get that. You would have put the person on hold and put them in touch with tech support.
Hmm.
Tech support would have then done that work and returned that information back to CS. So you do get a little bit of that bleed over. We don't really touch too much with purchasing other than with our directs. When a customer decides that they need something right away,
Hmm.
we place the order as a direct. Then purchasing still ends up placing that order, but we let them know that it's going direct from the manufacturer to a customer.
Hmm.
So you
The
know
people in like the purchasing things like that, were they most likely customer service people first, or is that kind of its own realm? That's its own
it's
animal, and
it,
they've kind of.
it is definitely its own animal now. I know some of them have been in customer service before they went into
Hmm.
purchasing. And so, yeah, again, it's like the company has done so often. You start off in one spot, and as you show a proficiency in something,
Yeah.
they move you into another. And yeah, that's just the way it goes.
Is that ever anything been on your plate? Is if some other position in the company was there, you'd ever want to move into that, or is what you're doing now pretty much
I like what I'm
you're
doing
comfortable?
now, but I've always told management, like,
Hmm.
I'm open to any opportunity that they feel that I would be a good fit for.
Which
You
is
know,
why
it,
obviously group leaders came up, things
yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, it's nice to be considered, to be thought of um, as having the ability to do more than what you currently are doing or to take on more responsibility.
Hmm.
Um, but the other flip side of that is if you know, didn't fit that, you know, part real well, the company has been good in bringing people back in, into what they were doing before or finding a fit,
Yeah.
because we've brought people on that, were originally hired for one thing and it didn't work out. They just, for whatever reason, aren't, you know, doing great at that
Hmm.
job. And if you're a good person, a lot of times there's another opportunity somewhere in the company that you can find your fit.
It does seem like a lot of other places you don't really have the fallback. If you move up and you get burnt out and can't perform in that position, your best bet's usually just to move on in a lot of
Hmm.
different companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that multiple times in just the 7, 8 years I've been here. People either swapping or leaving and coming back, or just going kind of back to something they were more comfortable in
Yeah.
because it was either a little too much or just didn't feel confident.
Yeah.
But
And again, that's nice. This just speaks volumes of the company again that you don't feel a pressure that if I don't do real well at this right here, then
hmm,
that's it for me.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's encouraging.
Kind of going back to your day to day in CS, um, when someone sends in a quote or even sends in an order, is it usually sit in a queue for a while? You'll get around to it when you can, or like how fast is our customer service in general? Like, is it?
In general, that's one of the things we pride ourselves on is we turn everything around very quickly, and you can get a quote back in as little as 5 minutes if it's something real simple. The only time quotes really seem to take more time is if we're waiting on a manufacturer to come back with price and lead time on something. Some things that
I mean, very
are more
technically
advanced, yeah,
advanced.
like XLR units and things like that. There isn't, just
There's
price
no
and
clean
availability.
cut.
Right. It's just not readily available for us to turn it around that quickly.
Yeah.
But cables, cylinders, everyday items that we stock,
Hmm.
yeah, you
Even if we,
expect to
let's
get a
say, even if
quote
it is
back in
something that takes a
definitely
while, the
under an
customer's going to
hour.
get a response from you guys
Yeah.
very fast.
Yeah.
You're going to let them know
and
this might take a while, but
yeah, that's just it. Even if we aren't able to respond with the quote, we typically will respond with an email saying,
yeah,
we've got your request. We're waiting for lead time on this.
there's no waiting that maybe your email got lost in the void
Yeah,
for 3
yeah,
days.
we don't like to leave customers hanging, wondering. And we've had that happen where customers will email us like, I haven't gotten our quote back. It's been over an hour, and it's rare for that to happen.
Yeah.
And there's usually always some reason behind it, So we definitely do a good job of getting back to a customer.
Mhm.
And that's always been one of the top compliments that we get when we go into places is we can't believe how quickly you get back to us.
And that's probably, hammering in day one on a lot of the newer people is
Yeah.
even if you don't know the answer, how
Yeah.
to do it right away, still get back to that
Yeah.
customer and let them know we're working on it because he said just leaving something in the dark for a while
Mhm.
is not what our customers are used to.
Yeah. Yeah. Customer service is very fast paced. You do a lot of multitasking, a lot of prioritizing. Um, you have to look at everything that comes through and figure out, is this hot? Does this need to be acknowledged right away?
Hmm.
And so, yeah, you spend a lot of time just
Or maybe
trying to
read
keep
between
things
the
organized.
lines when a customer says it's hot, hot, hot.
Mhm.
Maybe it might not actually, and
Yeah,
they can calm them down a little bit.
Some people will put an exclamation point at every request, and you just see it come across. And other people will put rush or hot when
Hmm.
they know it's hot. And then that's where the phone calls will come in too, is if they need an answer right away, they'll call. So
Do you guys have a way to like track how much quotes, orders, and things you're doing? Like in general, like
yeah,
would you actually know at the end of the day, I have done this many quotes?
yeah, there is a customer service program that we run that keeps track of all that, keeps track of the number of quotes, orders, phone calls,
Hmm.
all of that you do every day. And that's one of the measuring tools that management uses to see just how productive somebody in CS has been.
Yeah. So it's nice. I mean, obviously, even for your own personal use to see how busy you are and stuff like that in comparison. Obviously, nobody in customer service is ever comparing or fighting against who's doing more stuff. It seems like it's a great team mentality, but like certain people obviously are going to do more because they're more efficient or have been here longer, things like that. So like on average, I mean, you probably excel at how much you see in a day, but like on
Mhm.
average, how much is somebody probably doing? Yeah.
I would say on the average, you're probably doing at least in the ballpark of probably 30 quotes, 30 orders every day.
That's impressive.
And at the busy times, I've seen CS people doing like over 100 orders.
Jeez.
And those are very busy days. But yeah, that's again the beauty of our system and our company is we're able to turn around things that quickly. We're able to process that much, and that. But there is a friendly competition.
I was going to
Like
ask because
people,
when I said people might not compete, you kind of had a smirk on your
yeah,
face, so I
people,
assume that actually might be a little bit of
yeah,
a friendly
people want to take a
competition.
look at the report and see how they measure up, and yeah, you should take a certain amount of pride in what you do, but it's also in the quality of your work.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
just because you lead in quotes or you lead in orders or you lead in phone calls, that's just one aspect of what we do. You have to communicate well with your customers. You have to communicate with the salesman, and you have to, do all of that.
There's no metric for like quote to order, right? Like I've seen it where people are like, you've quoted so many things versus orders. You know, why are you quoting that much versus actually orders? Like I've seen it before where people don't want tons and tons and tons of quotes out because
Mhm.
they want to see more orders than quotes. So like, you should be quoting things that are practical and that are actually going to get ordered instead of just these budgetaries out to people so then they can take our quote and go to the competitor, you
Yeah,
know? And I know,
thankfully, we don't get bothered too much with just like budgetary quotes, people price shopping us.
yeah.
Yeah, that is another pride in our company is our customers when they come to us, it's typically because they need something or they can't get something from somebody else and they're asking for a cross.
Hmm.
And we again are able to turn crosses around in usually less than a day
Hmm.
and get back with customers and find alternative solutions to whatever it is that they need. But yeah, no, it's always good to have some friendly competition to just help drive um, people's desire to be good. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be great.
Hmm. No, absolutely. I can always, whenever I walk through, everyone's always in good spirits, either razzing each other. Or, I mean, everybody's, brothers and sisters over there, and it's
Hmm.
awesome. And heck, everyone's even playing around with their dogs at their desks and everything. I mean, like the atmosphere alone just kind of creates that everybody wants the company to succeed, and I don't know. It's good
Yeah.
overall. I mean, there are all kinds of words at
And
it, but
now that we're an employee owned company, it's just all the more reason to, do
that's a good
well.
point too.
The better you do for the company, the better the company does, the better we all do as a whole. So
Hmm.
everyone's
Especially all
everyone's got a
the
stake
newer,
in it
younger
now.
people
Yeah.
who are going to really benefit
Yeah.
from some of that future stuff with an employee-owned company are going to be wanting to
Yeah.
promote it.
At every level, the job that you do has a tangible result in how the company does.
Hmm.
So it's important.
I mean, covered a lot of bases here. I
Mm.
don't know if there's way too much more to talk about customer service. I mean, you guys definitely stand out. A lot of departments rely on you. Obviously,
Mhm.
without the customer service department, we'd be relying on like our salesmen to do your jobs, which is not efficient
And
whatsoever.
and some salesmen do like to do some quotes, and that we discourage them from placing orders typically. But a lot of them will do their own quotes
Hmm.
because, again, they recognize customers want responses back right away.
Sure.
And sometimes there's information that we don't have that they know about because they've had the conversation with the customer and being able to do that
Hmm.
and get that information back to the customer quickly. It's important. And then we see the confirmation or the order, the PO come across to us, and we see that the salesman's quoted it. And again, that just makes it easy for us to take that quote, turn it into an order, and get it out the door.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Is there anything just, you know, off the top of your head that either you've heard from coworkers that have worked other places or customers or salesmen, people who've called in, that is something unique that our Barnum customer service kind of does? Or a complete highlight that makes us stand out from other customer service at other companies or businesses? Like, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, just my experience going from working in a company where I was just a number,
Hmm.
coming to here where they're truly, I mean, because I truly do have family here, um, it it does feel like you're working, for family. But again, that ups the responsibility. I don't want to disappoint the company, but I don't want to disappoint family either.
Absolutely.
And so it for me it weighs even heavier.
Hmm.
You have to do not just a good job, but a great job because you feel that, sense of responsibility and ownership to do the right thing and to be well and do good at it. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, it's definitely been an opportunity that I've been extremely thankful for since, I got it. So, yeah, it's nice.
Awesome. Well, I think I'll let you get back to your desk because you probably got 10, 15 emails that came in the 20 minutes we've been
Yep.
sitting
And
here.
customers are wondering, where's my
And
quote? I normally would have it back by
you
now.
know, like you said, since it's the group mentality, others can probably pick up some of the slack. But you know, when you take the juggernaut out of the system, there's going to
It's,
be something lagging.
yeah, it's good to yeah, it's good to have the opportunities to do what we do. But yeah, it's nice.
Well, thanks for chatting with me, Scott.
Appreciate the opportunity.
And thank you, whoever's listening or watching. And if you ever want to get a hold of customer service, obviously you can reach out to the Barnum salesman. There's a customer service email,
Mhm.
obviously, right on the Barnum website. There's
Yep.
contact information that makes it to this awesome group. And I guess we'll see you next time on the next Automation Nation podcast. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Scott.